Hello and welcome back to Factor Y. In our last episode, we continued building our factory, upgrading our research and technologies and things, and we also built another RT1 crafting array because, well, we needed it. But there's been an update, or rather there is a update in beta right now, where we have a bunch of new quality of life features, mostly, but really good quality of life features. So the first one is color themes. You might have noticed there's some colorization to different things, not just the factory, or not specifically in the factory, because these colors were mostly all here, but to the interface of the game itself. So like these icons, the icon we are currently selected on, is now highlighted with a specific color. The colors down here in this have been tweaked as well. And then the settings have all been grouped into a specific screen now, rather than being broken out into a selection panel. So that kind of gives us a little bit of a tighter fit, or a cleaner look as far as the game goes. Let's see. We can switch our color themes though to a handful of selected ones. The next one, current one, is One Dark Monokai, and the next one is Dark Modern. And then we have Gruvbox and Hack the Box, Kanagawa, Carry Pro Colors, Noir Essence, and One Dark Pro, Panda, Factor Y Classic. And then back to One Dark Monokai again. So you can see kind of, as I was scrolling through those, kind of what changes. It's the panels color and the some of the other, like the frame to the panels, also the button, of course, selection as well. Wait a minute, did I miss? Okay. I didn't miss it. There we are. Let's go back to one here. So that's, you can kind of see the difference even between the classic Factor Y color and the current default theme. So we also have, of course, other settings that have been brought into here as well. But that's not all that's new. There's a few other things here. There's a new planet. We can scroll out and we can see that planet. It is up here, near the edge of the system, and the new planets all have, and its moons, rather, the new planet and its moons all have bonuses for maybe not the planet itself, but all have different modifiers that affect production. So the idea here is to head out this way at some point to establish maybe a new base, a bonus base, a long-term like long play base, where this one here, for example, this moon has a 200% mining time, but a 4x assembly speed. So you can kind of see mining is a little slower, but you can manufacture things 4 times as fast. This one up here has 200% mining time and a 3x research token multiplier. So that means that if you do your research here, for every unit of every research token you put into a lab, you'll get the effect of 3 of them out, which is kind of handy. You get a lot more production out of your base things. Kind of a productivity module, but specific to the planet. This one has 200% mining time, 4x assembly speed again, and then finally this one out here has 200% mining time and 3x research token multiplier. So 2 of each moon around this planet here, and I think the rest of the planets are the same. There's a planet on this ring. I just can never find it. It is a tiny little world, tiny little frozen world that is hard to find, and I miss it every time. I don't even remember exactly which angle it's at, because I miss it every. Oh, there it is, right there. Tiny little frozen world out here, by the way, and that one is Shy, which makes sense. So then we have, of course, still the rest of the planets that are around the system, the rest of the moons around the system we started with. There's the ones in here, the inner planets. There's this one out here that's an ocean world, and there's this one out here. These have all been here for a long time. Rocky world, and then this one out here has a bunch of moons as well. And I don't think any of these have bonuses. Just the new planet has bonuses. Yeah, just the new planet. Okay. The moons are on the new planet, rather. So back in we go. I'm down here to the south. There we are. And so we have, what's next on the list of updates? A highlighter, right, the H key over here will allow you to search for and highlight things around your base. So for example, if you want to find all of a specific type of item, let's say you're trying to upgrade and replace a specific type of item, you can do that here, and then you can toggle to and select those things, and everything else in the factory will be dimmed out except for those things. Now, this does not affect or show anything in a module. Modules, because of their nature, are completely separate and completely standalone kind of thing. Maybe you want to find out where all of your specifically Mark 1 long arms are. You can find those. Let me see if I find some over here. So those are now highlighted. You can also do the next one, which is anything that points in a specific direction. So anything that's moving eastwards. You can see all the belts here that are moving eastward versus southward. I'm not sure how the modules know that they're south versus whatever, but everything that works southward, including the arms that are pointed in that direction, everything that's pointed and oriented in that direction will be highlighted. You can see the differences here. And the assemblers don't have a direction, so they'd never show up in this directional highlight. Next one is highlighting the mark, a specific mark level, and he has replaced, by the way, all of the mark levels with Roman numerals versus the Arabic numerals or the common numerals. So you can see everything that's Mark 1 is highlighted now, and specifically that belt, which is all Mark 2 there, was dimmed out, and I can highlight it and say, okay, here's all my Mark 2 stuff. Oh, and I have Mark 2 smelting and arms and things here too. And this is the one that is the most useful to me is, hey, did I miss a belt or an arm in my upgrade of the smelting for this particular thing? Is that why I'm not producing enough or something like that? And to me, that's the most useful, or one of the most useful features of this, is just looking at a production facility and making sure that you didn't miss upgrading something. The next one is everything holding a specific item. So if right now it has iron bar selected, so anything that's holding an iron plate rather. So you can see how these are always dark because they're coal arms. These are always dark because they're iron ore arms. But when these have iron plates in them, they're highlighted. As these arms each grab an iron plate, they're highlighted, but then as soon as they drop it, they lose their highlight. We can switch this, of course, to be iron ore or anything at all, even even things like who's holding a Mark II miner. Well, this machine that's making them has some in stock, as well as the arm that's taking them into the provider. So that's kind of a cool feature too. Is that, hey, who's holding on to these types of things as well. Generally use an item. So for example, everything that uses iron plates, whether they are making them or consuming them for production. So here you can see the gears use iron plates, so they're highlighted, but then these don't actually use the iron plates, so they're not highlighted. These modules highlight because they're using iron plates, and these furnaces highlight. But the furnaces are a little weird because furnaces don't actually retain their recipe once the item has left the output slot. So for every new detection cycle or every new production cycle, a furnace gets its recipe and loses it again each time. So that's why these do not show do not highlight with the iron bar. And they will show highlight with the iron ore, assuming that they have enough iron ore to keep them highlighted. But again, as soon as they lose that item, then they lose the ability to see it. And of course, you can do this again with non ore plate based items too. So like this miner 1 is used by the miner 1 crafter, but also used by the miner 2 crafter. So that makes sense. And then these two kind of break that apart. So who produces the thing? So again, miner 1 versus miner 2, and then who consumes the thing? Again, miner 1 versus nothing selected for miner 2. And then of course you can go into the other things as well. The furnaces are never highlighted for iron plate because they don't consume it. They only make it. But then these machines down here are making it, or using it rather, in their production. And then these highlight for the iron ore, but they don't highlight down here because there's not iron ore in these things. So, and then you can reset it, obviously. So that's kind of a good way to search through your factory and find things you might be missing. I already talked about the settings dialog, but you can see the other things that have been moved into there. All the things that were on the pullout before are now just part of the settings dialog. Related items. So now when you set a recipe, so let's pick up. Oh, I forgot about the influencer range is affected by the color setting here, the color theme as well. I think, yeah, the color theme affects the influence reach as well. I forgot about that. Thank you for that. So the influence is also much brighter, much more obvious when you're out here in, say, the snow. You can more obviously see see where the influence ends. Although, again, on YouTube, it might not be as obvious, at least under this theme. But I can see it much easier here on locally. And maybe there's a theme that is better for it. That one's not better. There's a couple that are brighter, maybe. A little bit easier to see that, but you can also see the grid that the influence causes. So it highlights the grid much brighter when you're going through the building effort. And if I go down here into the influencers, even you can see where the grid is, where they're overlapping a lot easier, and you can see there's a difference in the influence grid when you're going to place one as well, even out here in the in the snow. That's really good too. Okay, so back to the assembler thingy. If you have an assembler, you can see that the related items for a belt are listed here. So the things it takes to make a belt, well, I don't know why it would show the belt itself here. Oh, that's a crossing. Never mind, that's the crossing. We're on the crossing selection. So it needs belts, it needs screws to make crossings, I guess, is what the idea here is. Yes, okay, so I don't know why you show the same item as the related item, though. I mean, I can see showing it like there, but if I were to show other things here, I would show belt 2 as, hey, this item can be used, the item you have selected can be used to craft these things. So if you had belt 1 selected, maybe it should show belt 2, crossings, splitters, mergers, and then the swappers and mixers as well. I don't know why you would just show the same item again here. That's odd to me, but maybe there's a good reason for it that I'm just not thinking of. So you can see that it shows now what is related to this assembler. The arms also show what is currently in their arm, in their hand, which is the screw in this case. The belts show the items that are on the transport belt, so you can see that here, all the items in each of the slots. So there's 5 there, there's 5 there. This belt here will show 2 of each because there's 4 slots total there. And then the centrifuges, which we'll get to much later, show the uranium that's used and produced in it, for example. Let's see. Improved belt animation. Let's see if we can maybe move some of these belts around so that we can see, or move some items around so we can see the flow of the belt, or go somewhere where the belts are still flowing. The problem is everything kind of got backed up. You're still flowing a little. Here, we are still using things. You can see the animation of the belt is a bit smoother now. It's not as choppy as it used to be. Although this is very jumpy, but I think the jumpiness is just because it's moving one item in a... Or it's not jumpy, it's just jerky, I guess. But that's because of the consumption of the factory. We should actually start some research, and then maybe I can use that belt as an example, too. This is, I think, the last RT2 max research we have available. I think everything else takes at least RT3s. So that's that. Render distance and render performance have been boosted. We saw the render distance here. I'm assuming that's this. Where you zoom out and it shows it. Yes. Oh, I see. Okay. So you can see the accuracy of the render here, and how detailed the color overlays are once you get to that. So if you have a poor performance machine, maybe you're going to want to turn this down. A higher performance machine, maybe you want to turn this up, because also you have to be real close then to see what is actually being made here. Like, that's where the render happens, is at that height, versus if you're out here at this level, all the way out there at this level, you can zoom all the way out to here before it turns into the blocky render. So that's kind of nice too. I'm going to keep it out at distance and we'll see how it makes my GPU perform. And tooltip verbosity and improvement. So we've been looking at that a little bit, kind of in passing, but let's see, this mouse over complex one. Okay, so now they're a little more verbose. It shows you the speed spelled out, enabled, and in influence zone range. Power usage is 5, and also energy power has been changed to read actually as power as opposed to NRG to make that a little more clear to you and to me and to everybody. So power usage 1 for a belt, etc. And then here it tells you what comes out of the machine, what goes into the machine, what the raw ingredients are, and then what the crafting time is for the recipe, and then what the crafting time is for the whole recipe chain as previous, but at least it shows you the words there describing what it means. Did you change, by the way, Martin, the I can't tell with this one, the shortening of the numbers here and whether it shows at least 1 decimal point? I don't know. Solar panels, which we haven't gotten to yet, have an updated texture, so I can't show you those yet. And then the save game migration, these, by the way, save games from 0.8 and 1.0 are all fully compatible with upgrading to 1.2, so don't worry about upgrading your existing factories. There's no problem with that. It'll just add in the additional planets, it'll add in the additional uranium on the uranium spawning planets if you're still on 0.8, etc. A handful of UI bug fix types of things, and there was one more thing that I thought of a few moments ago, and I do not have the memory to remember what it was before. But maybe it'll come to me again later, and I will think of it then. So that's kind of a quick overview of the new stuff in 1.2. If you're interested in it, you can add into the beta on Steam so that you can take a look at it early, as I am. If you are wary of beta versions, then hang out for another little bit, a week or two or something, and it should be on the main branch by then. Okay, so we are working on our final RT2 max research, so we need to start working on an RT3 recipe, or factory rather. We also might want to rebuild this RT2 into a module to make it a little bit more manageable. We could do that first, and we might want to do that first, but let's take a look at what the RT3 is going to take before we do that. So start out with, of course, a RT3 machine. That's still doing it. I don't know. I thought that was fixed. Where the selection box comes up, but I'm managing to still do it, Martin. Yeah, I fixed an issue where one could accidentally spawn the selection box from within the UI controls. There's still some edge cases that could trigger it. Raise his hand. But I doubt it can happen accidentally. Let me know if I'm wrong. There you are, Martin. Okay, so in addition to an RT2 coming in to make an RT3, we also need 2 computers. We haven't set up computers yet, so this is a good opportunity to do so. 2 computers every 1024. Oh, I remembered one other thing that was changed. The arms that were just called arms before are now called arm short to help distinguish them from arm long, which we had before. And I think it was long arm before, so we swapped the adjective around to be at the end, which makes sense. So two computers, rather, every 1024. Those are going to be over here, of course, computer, and those are made in 1024, so we're going to need 2 of those. And then computers will require some chips, which we're going to get off of the bus, maybe, probably, maybe. 1 cable every 1024, which means I think 1 cable maker, I did it again. 1 cable every 1024 times 2. This makes 1 cable every 1024. Nope, we need 2 of these. And then 4 wire every 1024, and that means that we need to have 1 of them feeding directly into here. That's 512 to make 2. You need yes, and then you need also 4 every 1024 as well. So that, and then of course these over here like that to feed in this way. Those will all feed to this thing. And you also will need 1 long arm, and we can maybe feed that in from up here. Arm long. Oh, that'd be nice if you could click this to switch it. That would be kind of nice. Little QOL. And then that's going to make one long arm every 512. So we really only need half of one of these machines, but that may not be worthwhile. And then you're going to need to have one machine making gears. Yeah, being able to click that would be kind of handy. And one machine making rods. So this needs 2 gears, 2 rods every 512. You'll make 1 every 256, which is 2 every 512. Same there. And so that's kind of what we're going to need. As long as we can bring chips and iron in via the bus, that would be great. I'm going to want to probably spread these apart some. Maybe to bring iron in the middle. Then I get screwy with that. That's not the greatest. Oh, I remember what it was, or what one of the things was that I read over. Arms will no longer need to grab from the end of the belt. So if there's any item along the length of each belt, the arm will grab from anywhere on the belt. Just so you know, because that will change the way that some factories will behave. We could do that. We could also maybe just move these up here. Oh, that might work out better yet. Here. And then I could move this down, maybe like that. And have, almost, like this. And have the iron belts coming in. And I haven't looked at what my old design was, but I think this is better to do. Have the iron belts coming in like this from each side. And then also have the, oh, I did remember what the other things were. I will come back to that in just a moment. And have these coming in, maybe just to a box or something. For each one of these. We could also maybe stagger. Oh, yes. Let's do it this way. Stagger these in. Because then I can put in the boxes here and here. But maybe we won't want to use boxes. And actually we have something else to set up as well. Because the other things that were changed is in the research screen, there is no longer a long arm long 1 research. That has been added to the base game, to the starting inventory. I think you get 10 or 20 of them in your starting inventory. So that makes the early game a little bit easier. If you recall back when we had that kind of janky smelting setup going on here with making the kind of starter base. With the long arms available from the beginning, you can actually move an item across one belt to the next one, and then that allows you to have at least some sort of a rudimentary smelting column. Something similar to this, but maybe you obviously wouldn't want it this big, but you could pass with a long arm from the machine over to here, although even though they're half speed, you could still pass the iron across one belt and onto the next one. And also, what's also been added are the source and sink, and I don't have any made because I didn't start this game with these, but you'll start with a couple of these and more of these, I think. Maybe it's 10 of these each and 5 of each of these, so we need to set these up. But belt-like sources and sinks means that you can feed a whole belt into an array. And that makes something like this science array where I'm feeding in a whole belt of coal and iron and feeding out a whole belt of research token 1, that could turn this into a module and have this whole piece right here with, you know, of course, the sinks in the sources in the sink being an output and an inputs here on the end. But I can feed all of this into one big module now. And when I want to make a new copy of this, I can just stamp it down. So that's a nice improvement too. Now, of course, you still have to feed that out and into the labs out here in the world because the labs can't be placed in a planner. They only can be placed in the world. So there's that. But you win some, you lose some. So let's go where do we have those modules pieces being set up here, and let's take a look at the recipes for. But then we'll go back to the science. Let's take a look at the recipes for the belt-like sources and sinks. These need motors, which we have on the belt, and they need belts, which we don't have on the belt. They're going to need, let's see, they operate in 1024. If I just did one belt maker, that's going to make, just need one belt. We need one belt every 1024. This is going to make 4 belts in the same amount of time. So I can actually make 2 of each of these off of one of these machines if I wanted to. And then obviously this needs gears in order to, doggone, I keep going to click that. This needs gears, of course, in order to make the, belts. So if we found a good place where we had, motors, we could bring motors in. Oh, we need to feed those into them as well. So if we found a nice place where we could feed iron and motors in. It's stone. I don't know that we have... Where do we have motors even being fed in right now? Right here. I suppose I could split the circuits that way as well. Yeah, let's pick this up and move it out of the way slightly. If I moved these guys, but also these guys over here, would that work? Sort of, but not entirely. Because, well, yes, let's do it this way. Let's do this slightly, but not entirely crazy. This will go there. This needs to get nudged over a little bit. I could, though, run the belts and then have... What if I made these as two of them like I was talking about doing? What if I did it like this, made them wider, and then I did two of these, this one, and then I made you guys over here like this and like this. This is going to be 1024. 1024. I would have to do... I don't need that many. Let's just do this like this. These guys can come down here. Let's go 2 away is fine. And we'll run the motor belt through the middle here. Like this. We'll put some long arms on this. We'll do, of course, and I'm out of the influence zone here, but it doesn't really matter at this point. We'll deal with that. Did I make influencers too? I think I did. I hope I did. I imagine I did. I have 20 of them. I guess I did. And I need to find a good spot where I can start using them. This is as good as any, I suppose. I did there, and that means one right there. That means that you guys can come out. Not like that. Like this. And then you guys can come out and break things. But then we can put another one in. They're going to come down here now. There. Still broken, but that's okay. You come out. You come out. And then you can go in down here. Okay. And then these ones over here have to do the same type of thing. I'm just going to reset all of those so that I can put down the 2s. Here. There. Uh-oh. Still got another one in there. Oh, 2 of them in there. There and there. And then down here. Okay. That's cleaner, and as we work around the base, I will replace more of them with areas with 2s. So if the motors come in here, the circuits could come in down here. I could just split these motors, though, and bring them down this way. That would work out fine for me. So let's put in a splitter there. And then you come down straight line. There we go. Iron, you guys go in here. You go this way. Actually, wait a minute, I screwed up. Stop this for a moment. This needs to be moved one step closer now because I'm not putting the extra stuff in there. So I don't need the fluff belt there to handle things. And then you can come in like this. You don't need to go any further than that. And then this can be the circuits that come in. And then, so you guys come down here, down here. Those are going up. Circuits are going in here. There we go. And those go here with a crossing there and a splitter there. Like that. And I think that's everything, right? Is that everything? Oh, they already have all the belts they need. Yeah, that's going to be backed up all the time because it's not outputting the same. Oh, I should have done it. I should have kept it apart because then I could have had a single box here. It's all right. It's all right. Actually, I don't know if that would have helped any in the end. And it's fine. It doesn't cost that much to make extra output chests like this. 10 of those each. That's probably fine. You're getting... Oops, these are backwards. You're getting motors. You should be getting those boxes in a moment here. And then these can kick off and get us started. I just want to make sure they both get started before we get started. Finally. Okay, good. Let's see where this grabs from. It grabs from the end when it's full, I guess, still. But it can grab from anywhere on the belt. There. Actually, let me do a little experiment here. Yeah, so you grab from that first spot as soon as it got there. Nice. Alrighty, we're both making now, so that should be good. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that's that project completed. I don't think there's anything else I needed to do project-wise. So we can get back to this. So will this work? If we do a belt source, and now it's time to go into a module, by the way. So let's delete this again. Go into a module and stamp this down. There, like that. We need to have iron coming in here, of course. We'll need to have belt sources there, of course. We could do, though, the copper coming in from down here onto a belt as well, which wouldn't be a bad idea. We could actually do something like this. And then belt sources would be here and here. Really? Okay. We got to change the item, of course, to be copper. There. And then we got to copy this over to here. I need to get circuits in here too, though. Okay, we're just going to have to do a swapper type of thing with these. That's fine. Delete that. Put this in here. And then I also need to feed in... Oh, I forgot I need to feed in the... RT2s. What if this goes up here a bit further? And that there. How fast do you need the computers? 1024? Yeah, so that should be fine. Arms... You're going there, you're going there, you're going here. You guys can all move up now. Again. To there. And to there. These can come up even one more if I want them to. Which I do, I think. And here. You'll need a long arm for that iron. 2 iron plates every 1024. 2 long arm, or 1 long arm should be fine for that. So that can go there. And there. We'll have to feed in the aforementioned circuits. We'll have to come in from both sides. So that can be here. This. Like that. And I still need to get the RT2s into here, though. So you're going to go this way. You're going to go that way. You'll go here. This can go over there with some belts. Still need to get the RT2s in here. Let's hook the rest of it up, though, so that I can see where I'm missing things. You'll go there and there, maybe. There. Here. Here. There. There. And here. And there. And here. And there. One more here, too. How to get RT2s into here. And how to get the RT... Okay, here's what we got to do. We got to do some shenanigans. RT2s come in this way. Come down. Nope. Nope, it is. I want to push out this entire bit right here. One spot. Then you can grab from here and throw them in there. This then can go... Actually, no, stay there. Go like this with a short arm here for the RT2s coming in. That'll be your job. 2. And then this whole bit over here needs to get pushed out. And maybe I can tighten this up, but for right now, this, and then we can do this. And then we'll have an RT3 belt coming out this way. And you guys need sources as well here. Oh no, you're going to be grabbing from... Oh crap. You're going to be grabbing from here, but you can't. We don't have undergrounds. Okay. I know how to fix that too. We'll fix that in just a moment. I need a sink before I forget what I'm doing. Sink there. And then I just need to have a crossing, and I might be able to clean this up too with more crossings. I need to have a crossing here with a splitter instead. Nope, can't do the splitter. Well, yes I can. I just need to put it back here. Move this to there. Move that to there. Okay, you. And you. And then you can grab from here and there. And that'll be good. That'll be disturbing, but that'll be good. Otherwise, I could have iron coming in a different spot for these, and that might actually work for more optimization later. This goes there. How to tighten this up now? Let's see. If I wanted to tighten it up, of course. These could actually go back. No, they couldn't. You know, I don't like that idea. Let's put those in another source. Source here. Or, why not just do a chest source for these, since they only need a certain amount. Let's just do a chest source for them. I could even do chest sources for this, but since there's 2 of them sharing it, I'm not going to. Source here and here. Arms there and there. This goes, that goes, this goes, this goes, this goes. There. This can all get pushed over again, as long as I am wise about it, because I was just unwise about it earlier. There, please. This goes back to being one of these. This just needs to get moved over to there, and then to there. That was dumb. And then you can move over as well to here. And then this becomes one of these. This goes over here and to there. That means that all of these can get moved in by 1. And the same thing with all of these. I could have done it this way before. That's good. That's tighter. Can I tighten it even more? Maybe. These could all come down. Like that. That might be about all I feel like doing. Now we gotta figure out how much we need of the inputs, each of the inputs. Each computer is gonna need 4 iron plate and 5 copper plate, but that's included in the cost of the chips. So for in each one of these, we're gonna need wait. 4 iron plate, 5 copper plate. 1 copper. Okay, 1 copper makes 1 wire. Makes 2 wires makes 1 cable. So 2 and 2, that's 4 out of the 5, and then we need 2 iron plates in. So this, for every one of those, and we're gonna make a bunch of them. And 24. Let's do maybe like a total of 20 out, maybe. So then we need, this needs to be set to 20. Let's at least start with there. We can go up from there. 20 out. or 20 in of those, rather, 20 out of these. You're going to need to make, or have, rather, 4 copper. So that's 80 copper total. Same thing over here then. Can I stamp that over? Yes, I can. And then it was 2 iron, so you'll be 40, if I am mathing this correctly. And then the circuits, we need to have the same amount of chips as iron, so this will also be 40 chips. There. And then finally, we need iron for these guys, and you need to have, for 20 of these, you need to have 20 long arms. 20 long arms means 8 iron plates. I forgot about short arms. Whoops. I forgot to make short arms. Okay, we gotta make this bigger now. Short arms. And more gears. Okay, actually do it this way. Then in that case, maybe this should be a, belt. This one should definitely be a belt source. Just depends on whether that one should be a belt source or not. But I guess symmetry is best, so let's do that. You're gonna need... how many? 2 gears, 2 rods, that's 2 plates, 2 plates. Oh, you need iron there too. Let's move this up to here then. 8 times 20 is 160. I think that means I need to have 80 on each side. And we'll do a belt in from there, down like this. You'll go in like that. You'll come in like this and like this. And then like this. As insane as that might seem, in a straight line, that would work. Alright, so let's fast forward this. Did we get there? We only got 10. Did I do math? Did I do all that math wrong? You got all the wire you needed. Oh, I know what part of the problem is. Iron plates, chips, but not the cable. Yeah, okay, I know what the problem is. The problem is, these arms are grabbing willy-nilly, freely. If we're bringing 80 in here, that means that your limit, your count, we talked about this, I think in the last episode, needs to be 40. There, 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 there. And the same thing with these ones up here. Your count and your count need to be 40. Because they're splitting a belt. We make them all this time? Missing 1? How are we missing 1? Computers, wires. Wait a minute. How did you get 40 and you get 40? Oh, you didn't get all of them. I know what it is. All right, you've got to come up here, right? You've got to come up here. And this belt here needs to come in differently. Because these are never going to split evenly either. So I need to do something. Yeah, this needs to all move this way to there. And this needs to go there. And this goes there. And this goes there. Because they need to grab from the same spot, otherwise you will have some that get past, and then they get stuck on the belt. There's 20. Okay, so that made 20 of them in, let's see, 25,400. 25,400 divided by 20 is 1270 to make 1 RT3. Now, 1 RT3 should take 1024 to make. So we're a little bit, over. We're over by about 20%, I would say. 1270 minus 1024 divided by 1024. Where? Wait, I did that wrong. 1270. Oh, I see what I did. 1270. I just typed the wrong numbers in. Minus 1024 divided by 1024. 24% over. overspeed. We could probably tighten that up. Faster belts would help. Where else we have bottlenecks at? Let's see. It's also set our divisor to 20. Well, not yet. Where's the problem? The problem could be here, but only the first time. Yeah, it's the startup cost of getting these loaded in. So faster arms would make a benefit there. But I think that's an okay build. Otherwise, you can see this is just waiting for these to get used. But it's in that startup time. Let's go down to regular speed here. So you can kind of watch it. So this is all useless time right here. Well, sort of useless time. You still need to get all of your wires in here. All of yours in here. And then you gotta wait for this to craft, which takes time. So the only way to defeat this is to do more numbers. Higher numbers. Double it again in terms of all the counts. Or quadruple it or whatever. Get more numbers in. That way you can spread that initial startup cost out amongst all of the components. And so if we did that, we could kick this out to 40. Not 740, just 40. It means that did it again. Did it again. There we are. It means that this now needs to be 80. And again here, 80. And then you're going to be there. Wait, those are already good. I can't do that, of course. 40, 80, 80. This will be 160. 160 over here. You can pause this too, by the way. Cancel modularize? No. No, okay, never mind. I lied. I could also adjust all the arms. 40 there, or 80 there rather. 80 here. This becomes 40. And this becomes 160. Likewise. Did it again. Likewise here. That's 16. 160. These arms here are now going to be 80. And I think that I can copy. Yeah. That one I can copy. You go there. You go there. Down here, these arms are also going to be 80. I guess I could have kept the copy on that one. It's fine. There. 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 We got 80. Oh, right. If you stamp it down, even in the wrong direction, it'll just take the copy of it. I think that's it. I think. But we're going to also need to adjust the modularized ticks a bit because we just doubled this and it's going to be more than that because it was 25 something to start with. 25,400. That's doubling is going to make it more than 50,000 probably. Let's go 60,000. And let's go faster. And this one isn't running because it's waiting. Remember, this runs twice as fast. Oh, this runs twice as fast. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. They're just waiting. This is all waiting. But it's fine. Okay, let's go super fast. There and there. Did you get them all? You got them all? So that took 45. Oh, made it under 50k. We actually saved quite a bit then. 45,868 divided by 40. 45,868 divided by 40 is 1146.7, down from 1270 each. But comparing that to the 1024, we saved over 100. So we could double it again to make it twice as fast, but eventually you're going to have a lot of diminishing returns. And I don't know if that's a positive or a negative. By setting by having it be a long calculation and then a shorter or a higher divisor. That's something I would actually probably want to ask Martin for some feedback on. But if you have any other thoughts on this module, by all means, let me know. We will talk about it some more next time, probably. I'm going to save this, of course, as version 1 because, well, let's see, RT3 version 1. Because if I don't save it, then I lose it. But we can talk about it next time if you have any inputs. I'm going to ask Martin about doing the high calculation, high amount of ticks, and then the high divisor versus the lower numbers, if there's a point where that's a problem. And then in the next episode, we'll quickly do a remake of this build that's more compressed and ready to go for modularization, and then we can move on to making actually putting these down and making RT1s, RT2s, and feeding into the RT3s and getting those going. So thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you then. Bye for now.